Good afternoon, everybody. Eric Lofholm here. We're doing this on the fly because Brent is in an airport. I'm not even sure what part of the world he's in, but he's in an airport right now. And he made the last call, but he's not going to make this call. And so I'm pinch hitting on 12 seconds notice. And I have, even though I only had 12 seconds to prepare, I've got a training I think is going to blow you guys away. So I'm excited that you're here. We're going to be talking about vision. Who am I? What qualifies me to train you guys today? I am, as it relates to Brent, the co-host of his podcast. And how I landed that account is I prospected Brent. And I've owned my own sales training company now I'm in my 25th year. And I built my company from scratch, from a spare bedroom in my condo to an international training company. I've written 15 books and I have over 9,000 clients all over the world. And I did that. Probably the best tool in my tool belt is vision. And that's one of Brent's tremendous tools. He has so many tools in his tool belt, and that's one of Brent's best tools is vision. When he came up to EXP in the first place, he cast this giant vision. And that's part of his strength. So I'm gonna teach you a couple of vision formulas today. Instead of just talking a concept, I'm gonna put some tools on your tool belt around vision that you can literally take with you and have these tools for the rest of your life. And you can apply it to your EXP business, and you can apply it to your health, and you can apply it to your marriage if you're married or if you're single, or if you want to acquire real estate or whatever you're up to. So it says on the screen there, Eric Lofholm, and then there's Eric Lofholm plus vision. So to me, vision turns me from Clark Kent into Superman. It allows me to reach a different aspect of myself that without the vision, I'm unable to do that. Vision can be applied in many areas of your life. Last productive day is one of my visions, and I have an app on my smartphone, and the app is called Final Countdown. Final Countdown. Somebody might jot that in the Zoom chat. The app is free, and it's called Final Countdown, and it's a count up or countdown app. And so I have my last projected productive day, which mine's the day before I turn age 90. That's how long I want to do my career. And that's September 12th, 2046. So I have 37.2 years left. And what that says is, it says, one, I've got that many years. And two, it says, let's go. Eric, let's go. Because like Brent, I live with urgency. I live my life with urgency because every day that goes by is one less day. And those of you that are doing agent attraction, here's a little message for you. Put your foot on the gas and don't take it off the gas, because there's never going to be a greater agent attraction opportunity for you than right now. So take massive action now if you're doing agent attraction, or at least if you want to do agent attraction, fit it into your workday so you're spending a little bit of time on agent attraction. So whether you're doing a little bit or a lot, foot on the gas. This is Willie Nelson. I saw him in concert last year. I went to the concert planning on doing my business until my mid-70s. He did a great concert, and I looked him up on the internet. He's 89. Last year, he was probably 90 now. I'm like, I want to be like Willie Nelson. So I changed my last productive day. I want to be like Willie Nelson minus the pot smoking, because that's not my thing, okay? So other than that, I'm totally inspired by Willie Nelson. Both these photos are me, and the difference between the two is vision, having a vision for my health. This is my friend Pete. Pete always saw himself as a big guy. He created a vision for his health. This is my family. I have a vision for my family. This is my second wife. So my two kids are on my side and her two are on her side. So as a single dad in my mid-40s, I said I want to recreate my family. So I recreated my family, and I did this out of vision. So let's talk about a couple of formulas that you guys can take from today. And this first one I learned from a course called Landmark. Some of you have heard of the Landmark Forum, which the roots of that came from a guy named Werner Erhard. Some of you guys know that name. Werner Erhard's like a Tony Robbins-like guy. Really, really powerful human being. And I learned this formula from Landmark Forum. And so I'm going to show you this picture in a linear format. So that's the formula, and I'll put it in the Zoom chat. And you can do this with your real estate business. You can do this with agent attraction. You can do this with how many listings you want to get. So here's how the formula works. From a clean slate, you create a vision, which creates a space, and you enroll others into the space. So from a clean slate, you create a vision to have 40 people front line to you in EXP. So that's your vision. And then a space now is created for those 40 people to show up. And then you enroll others into the space. And this idea, guys, can get crazy because I'm coaching these 3 individuals, and they're out of Vacaville, California. They're EXP. And I'm teaching them this. And what we're doing is we're creating a vision to have the largest real estate organization in Solano County. So they, right now, through my instruction, I'm guiding them to build the largest real estate organization in Solano County. And we're using this exact formula. So from a clean slate, they have a vision to create the largest real estate organization in Solano County, which creates a space for that organization to exist. And now they're enrolling others into the space. And what they're going to do, how they're going to create this, is they're going to out-invite every other real estate organization in the community. And they're going to go to the brokers in the community, and they're going to roll out this vision, and they're going to tell the brokers, hey, here's what we're doing. You want to join us? And once they land one big broker, it's game over. And they also have a national vision and an international vision. And that's something for you to think about on the recruiting side. You can have a local vision, a national vision, and an international vision, because obviously EXP is international. From a clean slate, you could have a vision to do 40 transactions a year, which creates a space, and then you enroll others into the space. And you put your goals together on how you're going to go do it. And what I would invite you to do, I'm going to give you a little hack, a mind hack. Auto-suggestion by Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. When you wake up in the morning, you're probably like me. You wake up and then you go back to bed, kinda. You're half asleep, half awake. You're not ready to get up yet, but you're not ready to go back to sleep. So like this morning, I woke up at like 5:50 and I got up at about 6. So I used a 10-minute window and I did auto suggestion, Napoleon Hill. I told myself over and over again, I'm the top sales trainer in the world. I'm the top sales trainer in the world. I'm the leader of the Being Movement. That's one of my projects. I run a nonprofit that's focused on eradicating hunger globally. Tell that to myself over and over and over again. I'm the top sales trainer in the world. I'm the leader of the Being Movement. I run a nonprofit, and our vision is to be a piece to eradicating hunger globally. And I tell myself that again, programming my mind for success. So you can do this with your transactions. Let's say you want to do 2 transactions a month. You wake up tomorrow morning, you're not quite ready to get up, you're not going back to bed. I do 2 transactions a month. I do 24 transactions a year. You tell yourself that again. Now, if that's too low for you, pick a higher number. If you're building a 500-person EXP organization, I'm the leader of a 500-person EXP organization. I'm the leader of a 500-person EXP organization. You have your language match your vision. Okay, let's move forward on the next idea. Gandhi, by the way, used this formula. From a clean slate, Gandhi created a vision of a Britishless India, which created a space, and then he enrolled others into the space. So if you watch the movie Gandhi, before the intermission, Gandhi goes to British leaders and basically says, there's all this conflict going on between you British leaders and us people of India. we'd like you to leave. And they laughed at him. Gandhi took the vision. It created a space for that possibility to exist. And Gandhi enrolled 200 million people in his vision. He went back to British leaders. Watch the movie. It's right there, right before intermission of that big, long movie. And the British leaders left. So what you do, if you want 40 people front line to you, maybe 50, just so you have a little bit of extra, if that's what you're up to, right? You speak about creating that from a place of certainty. I don't ever say to myself, well, maybe I'll be the top sales trainer in the world. I speak about that from a place of certainty, not as a comparison. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else, as a state of being of this is who I am. That's how I got Brent Gove as a client. You guys all know how successful Brent is. I had to come from a place of this is who I am to have the confidence to prospect him. But I programmed my mind that way. I'm a former college dropout, former cook at McDonald's. That's my background. And I learned how to train my brain to think differently. And you guys do this and apply it to agent attraction or apply it to your real estate business, especially when we're in a market like what we're in now. So you can go out and put your foot on the gas and take massive action on a daily basis, which is what this market requires. I'm talking about mindset right now. So let's go deeper. So I want to tell you a brief story about a coach I paid 45 grand to for 10 hours. So why would I spend that kind of money to spend 10 hours with one person? And it's because it changed ideas that I had about life. And I now have the benefit of those ideas for the rest of my life. So my experience is this: you and I on a daily basis, we live into what we're speaking. So if your idea is I'm having a hard time being motivated right now, which I don't think that's you, but if anybody had that in their head, you're going to live into that idea of having a hard time being motivated. So it's all about changing our thinking. So I hired this gentleman. This is him here, Steve Hardison. And I went and coached with Steve. And I'm going to give you the formula that Steve shared with me. That was one of the most important ideas that I learned from $45,000 in coaching. I'm going to give it to you guys for free right now. And here it is. I'd never heard this before. Reverse engineer results. And I'll put this in the Zoom chat. So if you want it, you can have it here in the Zoom chat. He said, Eric, if you want to produce results, it's all about action. If you want to produce results, it's all about action. Okay, cool. So if I want more listings, take more action. If I want more open houses, I prospect for more open houses. If I want more of this, okay, action. If I want more agent attraction, okay. But here's the question. Where does action come from? That's a really important question. Because if you tell me in a coaching call, Eric, I know what I need to do, but I can't get myself to do it. Common thing somebody will tell me. Eric, I know what I need to do. Just can't get myself to do it. So that's thought or language, number 3, which is upstream from action. In other words, this is what Steve taught me. This guy I paid the 45 grand to. He taught me that my thinking is what's guiding my action. I would argue that you're on this call right now because you had a thought, hey, if I show up to this call, I'm going to get a little bit better. This is a great use of my time. Thoughts that got you here, okay? So if you prospected today, or if you're going to prospect today, you have thoughts that are guiding you to prospect. And if you're not prospecting, you're saying things to yourself like, there's no point in me prospecting right now, or it's not a good use of my time, or I don't like it, or I'm not good at it, or I don't know what to say, or I'm uncomfortable with agent attraction. So if you step back and ask yourself, what is the thinking that's creating my current results? What is the thinking that's creating my current results? And then what does my thinking need to be in order to create what I want? What does my thinking need to be in order to create the results that I want? Okay, these two questions right here, these are two of the most powerful questions that you could ever ask yourself. What does my thinking need to be in order to create the results that I want? If you're having a hard time prospecting, now I saw Bill Pipes speak the other day. You guys know Bill Pipes. And Bill Pipes says, what's our job as real estate agents? You know, I'm a coach, I'm not an agent, but what is our job? And Bill Pipes said, to talk to people. It's that simple. So if you're not talking to enough people, you could say, what's my thinking that's causing me not to talk to enough people? Which that's interesting. But the better question is not, why am I not doing it? The question is, what does my thinking need to be in order to talk to the number of people I need to talk to on a daily basis in order to win? That's a much more interesting question. If you're not getting the agent attraction results that you want right now, you could say, what's my thinking that's creating me to not get the agent attraction results that I want? Which is fine, but it's way more interesting to say, what does my thinking need to be in order to get the agent attraction results that I want? What does my thinking need to be in order to get the transaction results that I want? What does my thinking need to be in order to get the open house results that I want? What does my thinking need to be in order to get the referral relationships that I want? And then what Steve taught me, Mr. 45,000, is what's upstream from thought or language is being, as in state of being. What I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'd never heard this before. I'd never heard of state of being as a distinction. In other words, what creates our thinking? And Steve says what's upstream from thought or language is being, as in state of being. So you can check in with yourself right now and go, who am I being in this marketplace? Am I being fearful? Am I being inconsistent? Am I being bold and courageous? Am I being proactive? Who am I being staying in touch with my sphere of influence? Who am I being with technology? Well, I'm not good at technology. I don't like how I look on video. I'm not good at social media. Common statements people make. So who do I need to be in this marketplace in order to get the results that I want? So the guys I'm coaching in Solano County, their question is, who do we need to be in order to build the largest real estate organization in Solano County? What does my thinking need to be in order to create the largest real estate organization in Solano County? And the answers to those questions are millions of dollars in net worth. All right. I want to teach you one other Tony Robbins idea, and then we'll wrap up. If you're wondering where Brent is, I'm pinch hitting for Brent. He's in an airport somewhere. And so I got 9 minutes of notice. He said, Eric, put something together and make it good. I said, okay, Brent, you got it. So that's why I'm here. So I used to work for Tony Robbins. I was employed by Tony from 96 to 98. And Tony Robbins is a big goal setting guy, right? Obviously. And he has a goal setting process in those 30-day personal power audios. And this guy listened to the audios and did Tony's goal setting exercise and saw Tony at a seminar and acknowledged Tony. Hey, Tony, I did your goal setting thing from personal power and I got my goal set for the next 12 months. Thank you. And Tony said to the guy, you know, you're welcome. Glad you did a great job. And then the guy says to Tony, how far out do you set your goals? And Tony Robbins said, I set my goals in decades. In my experience, most people think out into the future 5 years or less. So this is my document. I wrote this in 2004. I was 33 years old when I wrote this. It was a 10+ page document creating my next 30 years in writing. So something for you to think about. Earl Nightingale, you might know him from The Strangest Secret. He was kind of like the Tony Robbins of his day. And if you do a YouTube search under The Strangest Secret, you'll find the audio. It used to be a record. Remember when we had record players? And it sold over 1 million copies. The first personal development audio ever to sell over 1 million copies. It's called The Strangest Secret. The strangest secret is we become what we think about. We become what we think about. So I say we become what we think about and write it down. So one of the things that I love to inspire people to do is to think a decade or 2 or 3 into the future. Create your future in your mind and then in writing, and then live into that future. So if you want to be a 4 transaction a month person and do 48 transactions a year, and you want to do that for the next 10 years, and then you would write that down, and then you would think, what do the systems need to be in order for me to do 48 transactions a year? And some of you want to do more than that. And some of you are doing more than that. I'm just using that as an example. I said back in 1999, I want to be the greatest sales trainer to ever live. So I've been living into that idea for 25 years, and I got 37 more years to go. Vision. Think about where do you want to be transaction-wise and where do you want to be agent attraction-wise. Write it down and then come from a place of confidence and certainty that that's what you're going to create. So that was my pinch hit for Mr. Brent Gove, and he'll be back next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you got something out of class today, type the word yes in the chat. If something resonated, you're like, oh, Eric, I never thought of it like that. Or, oh, that's a good idea. Or, hey, I'm going to do that. And if any of you are in direct communication with Brent, I know some of you text him and whatnot. And if you got something out of class, it would be cool if you just text him and said, hey, that guy Eric shared some stuff with me that helped me. Thank you. I would appreciate that feedback. And I am the voice with Brent on the Brent Gove podcast. If you're not a subscriber, brentgove.com, click on the podcast button. You can find all the podcasts that we've done. There's a bunch of them. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Have an awesome rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.